Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to come back to the room.
Can you see me?
Okay. Now I can. Good afternoon, everyone. Another episode of Inspirational Influencer News. Secrets of people making money and making a difference. And my guest this afternoon is Anaiis Salles, and she is certainly someone who is making money and making a huge difference. Anaiis and I have been friends for a while and had many adventures together. So I won't tell all of the stories, but we have had some adventures. And she has a brilliant background in energy medicine and has been an energy medicine practitioner for 30 plus years with international experience working alongside physicians in the US and abroad. She's also a speaker, an author, and a health and wellness consultant and coach. So I want you to welcome Anaiis. And Anaiis, tell us, what is the one most important thing that you want people to take from the show today?
I would like to say that we're in an amazing time right now because we have the opportunities to age gracefully, age feeling well and strong. And so this amazing adventure that we're on of self-development and transformation, we could go on like this for a really long time.
It's really interesting. And you're, of course, on a topic that's near and dear to my heart, having been part of this anti-aging movement. And I have a website and have done some work on Defy Aging, and have followed someone out of Harvard Health, David Sinclair, who says that aging is actually a disease. And that if we prevent aging, we can prevent the cascade of diseases that come after it, the heart attacks, the obesity, the diabetes, numerous diseases that I don't know about everybody, but I certainly don't want in my life. I quite enjoy feeling vibrant and alive and well. And now one of the fastest growing cohorts is people turning 100. Woohoo! There's hope. So what are you up to today, or at this point in time?
Well, first of all, I'm going to apologize now because I'm on a laptop and I may freeze and come back, but I'm going to try to tune into you, Mary, so we don't have too terrible a time here. Today, I was up to finishing the offer page for my up and coming, it's starting again in the fall, 3-year certification for advanced healing techniques for holistic practitioners. So I'm thrilled to pieces because our first live class for year 3 is going to be taught live. I'm really excited about this. So it's going to be live here in Philadelphia. So I've been sort of perfecting the information page and learning what it's like to work with a designer. That's a wonderful experience. And in addition to my holistic product that I've been the innovator for, that's doing very well.
Can you tell, before you jump into another innovative product, which I know you want to talk about, but tell us a little bit more about your innovative product.
Well, my innovative product really is something that, well, you want to talk about a market disruptor.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. And I plan to make a lot of money with my market disruptor. But what I have learned how to do through the practice of energy medicine for so long is I've understood some very basic fundamental dynamics of energy. And that includes energy transmission and energy transfer. And so the holistic product line that I have developed doesn't use air to transmit information like we're doing right now. We're using air and transmission lines and wires to communicate. The product line that I've developed uses water as the medium. And we are at least 70% water, the human body. So when I tell you that the information goes in and gets to work really fast, I mean really fast. It's amazing what happens. We've had people with antibiotic resistant infections on medication for weeks, in pain, not able to walk. They use my product within 12 hours. They can actually see open wounds closing because it ignites stem cell growth. Just the water, the information in the water does that.
Wow.
That's a market disruptor.
Wow, that's amazing. I haven't heard anything like that. It's amazing.
I'm sure that you haven't. So I'm very excited about this. And our first retail shop in Ashland, Oregon, a little place called Elder Apothecary, is now going to stock just a small basic sampling of my product line. And I'm very excited about 2023. And it's so easy because for me, there's no competition with big pharma or with physicians. It's complementary. And I don't make any claims of treatment or cure or just no, here's the information. If your body can use it, congratulations.
Yeah, that's really interesting because there's so many things that we get really, really tied up in. And I think the allopathic medicine really does no service in many, many ways. It's sort of like, if you've got a broken bone, they probably are the very best. They really can heal that. But if you have a problem and it doesn't x-ray and it doesn't test and it doesn't measure, like many ailments don't, they now don't have a clue. And like you, I've been involved in the movement of moving to natural products that work with your body, because your body is an amazing healing machine.
It is. It really is. And I have a deep understanding of that and great respect for it. And I feel that I am blessed to be able to follow the body's lead because I can communicate with almost anyone's body in a very effective way. And I let the body lead. But it's just such a wonderful time. And having worked with doctors, alongside doctors in hospitals and with physicians, when you describe something like, for me, if anyone listening within the sound of our voices knows anyone who's struggling with post long haul COVID issues, have them get in touch with me because we know that allopathic medicine has nothing for these people.
They have nothing. They don't know where it came from. They don't understand it. It does all kinds of weird and wonderful, well, unwonderful things. Let's not say weird and wonderful, really unwonderful things for the people that suffer from it. And they really are at a loss, complete loss.
They're at a loss. So please, I welcome anyone because I'm going into beta testing mode and we're starting our clinical trials for the product next year. And I'm going to need people who'd like to be in clinical trials for something like long COVID. Just had an amazing success in May, over the course of May and June, with a gentleman who was diagnosed with end stage COPD emphysema, really struggling to breathe, had to sleep with his oxygen on, had only 20% capacity with his own lungs. And I contacted him. I said, would you like to try? He said, what the heck? What have I got to lose? I put him on a program. Mary, within 10 days, he was able to go out, walk his dog, clean his house. He hadn't been able to sit in a chair without his oxygen.
Oh, wow.
This is a program, right? So this is information. Then I set up a program for him and let the water and the information in the water communicate with the water in his body. He said, I don't understand how this works, but I don't care. I went to a baseball game with my son. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, is that because it works with our bodies, who cares how it works? I mean, and your body figures it out. And that's really what the body was designed to do.
It's a wonderful thing that I'm enjoying the process now and looking forward to moving into this in 2023 with the clinical trials and a private membership association, and working more and more with the techniques that I can actually teach to other practitioners, in addition to giving them access to my product line so they can buy it and sell it wherever they are. But I have to just say that I'm doing well. I've always had terrific vitality, terrific health, really full, fabulous hair, nails, skin, all of that good stuff. I never had to think about it. I went through all of my adolescence. I don't think I maybe had one pimple. You know what I mean? It's just that's genetics. That's genetics.
Yeah.
And then I chose when I became pregnant with my first child, who's now 52.
Wow.
I chose to explore and learn about organic food, and then I went that route and stayed on that route. So I've taken good care of myself in that way, and the body responds to that kind of care. So now I've become associated with a company called Isagenix, and they're international, they're global, they've been around for almost 20 years, but they are all about reversing aging, reversing it. And we could do a whole show on this because
Yeah, I'm all for that, because let's turn back the clock, because some of us haven't been as careful or as good to ourselves as we could have, would have, should have been. And it's nice to know that there's something out there that can sort of at least slow. And if it can stop and turn back the clock, that's even better.
Yes. So I've done my due diligence research. The company has unbelievable amounts of research papers, all kinds of studies that they've done that look into the botanicals that they use, how they arrived at certain botanicals to use in their product line. And I'm not someone who's ever been a health nut or ever, people walk around, oh, I've got to have my shake. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Right? I now have a shake. And it's really wonderful. The other thing I love about Isagenix is they understand, as I'm sure you do, the importance of telomeres when it comes to the proper functioning of our DNA.
Well, I
Because
mean, people, if you don't understand, people can read the telomeres and literally tell you how long you have to live because they shorten.
they do. Well, Isagenix has a product that now lengthens your telomeres.
And that's astonishing. I mean, that is just so astonishing, because that's like a longevity rope. You've got something to hang on to. Wow.
It is, because without that kind of information in the telomeres supporting your DNA cellular duplication, you end up getting bad fax copies of your own material. And you know what happens when you get a bad fax? You can't read it.
Well, probably there's a lot of our listeners who don't know what a bad fax is, but that's really sad.
that's fax with an F, not vax with a V. Okay?
No, but fax with a, how many people really know what a fax machine was? I mean, except for our governments that still, operate in the Middle Ages. Fax machines went out with a dodo bird, as far as I'm concerned.
iPhone. But for those of you who do still scan documents, you may scan them on your phone, you may scan them in a printer. You know what happens if the ink cartridge starts to run out and you get a very fuzzy, almost illegible printout. Well, that happens with your DNA and your cells. When you don't have the right input, your DNA can't do the output that keeps generating perfect copies of all your cellular material. And we have billions of cells.
Yeah, so if that starts getting messed up, It's, because people talk about, well, I never had this little twinge or that little oddity or this crazy thing happened before. Well, of course, because like you said, the telomeres are not copying properly anymore. They're getting old too. And if you can reverse that, you can pretty much reverse a lot of cellular damage.
Can. And so that's very dear to me, because anytime you can reverse or stop or slow the progression of cellular damage, or you can shift bad copies of information to better copies, back to good copies, that makes my work just that much more joyful.
Well, and what's really fun with companies like Isagenix, and there's others really good companies out there, and it's really where I was fortunate to find a lot of the really best products that I grew up with and started using, and got me out of the naturopathic, allopathic world and into more of the naturopathic world, was network marketing. And,
Yes.
network marketing relies on word of mouth marketing to get the word out about new things, because of course the allopathic people don't want that out there. So they make it so that you can't talk about it. I mean, like, come on, give me a break. And so they've got all these rules, and you can't advertise, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. Well, okay, but one of the best things to do in the world, if you want something to get around, is tell a woman. And here we are, we're out there talking about it, because that's always been the case, and so when you need good news, and news that the news and these pharmaceuticals are not wanting out there, because they're trying to protect their own, right? This is their territory. And oh my gosh, if these guys come in, they could wreck our good deals. Well, I mean, for considering some of the pharmaceuticals cost, thousands of dollars, let's wreck their deal, and let's put it back into the hands of real people.
Let's wreck their deal. Absolutely.
I mean, there's great English.
Yes, let's wreck the deal. Instead of make the deal, let's wreck the deal. But here's the other thing, because I'm glad you brought network marketing into it, because your background says secrets of people making money and making a difference. And actually, I have looked at network marketing off again for years. This is the first time that I've actually invested, because their compensation plan is unique. Let me just say that it's unique. And where in other network marketing strata, there are places where you plateau. Beyond that, you do not go. I'm going to pause because I'm freezing.
No, I'm seeing you and moving.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're okay.
Okay. I'll keep talking. With Isagenix, the compensation plan doesn't put you under a glass ceiling. And it's really dependent on the effort and energy, and of course, how really wonderful your social network is. Now, I'm pretty much a hermit. I'm an introvert. I don't belong to a knitting group. I don't belong to a reading club. I don't belong to a golf club or a tennis club. I'm not antisocial by any stretch, but I'm not someone who easily does those things now that my children are grown. When they were little, I was all over the place with them. Soccer, whatever, volleyball, my grandchildren, not now. And so it's been really interesting for me to feel into, how do I have these great conversations with other people, with other women, with other families who, as we're in this great economic shift post the pandemic, would you like to have a compensation, a product that you love, that you could have and get it paid for, and you can share it with all your friends, and they love it, and it becomes something that generates a vibrant financial focus and center for your family, for your friends, for your community. And everybody's just doing better, looking better, feeling better, aging better, right? I can't believe it, but can you believe this is me. This is me because I've been using this product now for several months. I was very careful about it and I read and read and read. And so those of you who are interested in the secrets of people making money while making a difference, keep talking to Mary and I.
Well, and network marketing has been the opportunity for people to really make a difference and make money for a very long time. I mean, I raised my kids and I didn't work because I'd made a decision that they needed a mom. And, network marketing was wonderful to me because, of course, it fit into my lifestyle. I could go to their baseball games. I could go to their soccer games. I could pick them up from school. I could drive them around, and I wasn't attached to an office. I wasn't attached to a job. And yet I had money coming into the house. So, and I felt like I was making a difference because the products that I got involved with were amazing. And so I'm in here.
Okay, good. Well, you and I will have to have a talk because I'm so glad you get it. And I hope the people who are listening with this great shift, people who are now not working jobs and they've had the experience of what it's like to need to be home with your children. And now our kids need us more than ever because the pandemic made socializing a real challenge and they lost ground and they need their parents now. But this kind of an opportunity is a win-win-win because you can be with your kids, you can do better, feel better, age better, and bring in some significant income for your family if you want to really get into it. I mean, this company has produced more than 60 millionaires from age 18, 19, 20 to age 90 and beyond. So it's a pretty broad group of people who have figured out how this could work for them. So I wanted to share that with you today because, you and I are both into the inspirational influence thing.
Absolutely. And, getting to be able to get these products out there, to be able to make that difference with people and also with your families, because oftentimes, and I know Isagenix from long ago, it was a company that was around, and then I actually moved out of the country totally and went to Panama. There wasn't a lot of network marketing going on in Panama, and I didn't know anybody. So for 8 years, I was just totally out of the loop and came back to a whole new world because everybody's gone online, and I was like, oh my God, this is weird. So I had no idea where to go or how to start. But in any event, I know the power of network marketing, and I know how good it can be for people that get involved in it and have a good product behind them. And, like every other business in the world, some have great products and some don't. But, a company like Isagenix that has 20 years of being there and doing good things, yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed to carry on and be there for the long haul.
For the long haul. And I'm excited about it because of not only the impact it can have, it gives me another tool to give to the people that I'm doing energy healing and energy medicine with. It's like, while you're coping with this problem, let's add another layer of self-care resources that not only can help you, but if you feel like you have the energy, can help other people as well. And if you don't have to do that much to actually get the products that you find are working for you paid for by the compensation plan, which is it's incredibly generous. You and I will talk about this on another show. But the thing is, how do you get started? And I met an amazing person who she was on my summit in April, and we just clicked. And she said, oh, I'd like to talk to you about Isagenix. I said, sure, you can talk to me about anything. I like you that much. You could talk to me about anything. And we had a wonderful conversation. And I said, absolutely, this makes total sense. It's in complete alignment with what I've already been doing for 30 years. And it brings it forward in a way that has so many good check the box values built into it. And when I heard about the telomere support, that was it. That was it. I was like, just where do I sign? Because not everybody understands that yet. But you will see their photos, and I'll share. I think I did share something in the email. People have literally peeled away 20 years off of their face, what they look like.
Wow.
Yeah, off because of the collagen product and the in combination, they have literally peeled off 20 years. So it's fun for me to show that to people, and it's fun to have the pictures, and it's fun to have the science.
And we're all blessed because you can reach out now to anybody. Like, you are not confined. You don't have to travel. You don't have to jump in a car. Gosh, you can do a Zoom call from anywhere. And thanks to COVID, I think everybody became a Zoomer. Even the kids had to learn how to use Zoom, for heaven's sake. I mean, like, who doesn't know how to use Zoom by now?
And they Zoom on their phone. I had a client session with a woman this morning in Australia. And between Zoom and World Clock Buddy or Time Clock, you can figure it out. So I would love to invite anyone who's the least bit curious about this to get in touch with me. Mary's got my information. Mary and I are probably going to work on this.
Actually, I want you to give out your information so that people can get to you. And, of course, we'll figure out how we're going to work together on this, because the telomeres are definitely my jam. So, but why don't you share? Because Anaiis, we don't even have your last name here. So
I will give you my last name. It is Salles, and that is spelled Salles, but it's pronounced like giving solace, giving comfort. And the easiest way to get in touch with me is to text me. +1 if you're outside of the United States, 267-401-0477. And I'm on Telegram. Mary and I chat on Telegram a lot. And so with that phone number and my name and Telegram, you can find me. And then I would be delighted to share more information with you.
And I happen to know Isagenix has a lot more products, and people with kids will find that they've got a lot of products that are helpful for their kids, give them energy, give them safe energy, not the sugar energy, and, help you break the habit of having sugar. I mean, my poor kids suffered from having the meanest mom in the world because I wouldn't let them have sugar. I kicked the sugar habit way, 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 way back. And my kids thought, what a mean mom. They don't think I was a mean mom anymore. But, they took fruit to school, and they didn't take candy sweets, and they never got pop. I mean, never is a long time. So they got pop occasionally. But it wasn't like there was pop around the house. There was water. And you were expected to drink water because your body is mostly water. So, sugar's not helping you.
So we're back to the basics. I love being back to the basics because we're right. We're full circle, Mary, with where we began this conversation, which is how amazing, intelligent, and if we would only trust our bodies and learn to listen within and listen to what our bodies have to say, we would be a lot healthier. It's a learning process. And
and having products that can support our bodies, because things do get out of whack, and they, you may have gotten something that came at you in a wrong way, or there's a lot of different things that can happen to people. And so it's not all about, dealing with whole bodies that never have any harm. They do, cuts and injuries, but I mean, for people who have bodies whose cuts don't heal, I mean, your product's amazing because all of a sudden cuts can heal. And, to think that you're using water to do that, I mean, that's astonishing.
Yes, cuts, burns, serious skin infections. I had a gentleman who had MRSA. He had a MRSA open wound on his leg. He'd been in and out of the hospital on antibiotics for 5 months, and it just wasn't touching it. His wife finally convinced him to use the product. And he just put it on and he bandaged it. He was consulting a plastic surgeon to figure out how they could close up this wound because it was very difficult to live life that way. And he used the product. 2 weeks later, he watched the hole in his leg close up to the skin level. And he went back to the plastic surgeon. He said, okay, I think the infection's gone. Let's do the surgery. And the plastic surgeon said to him, what surgery? You don't need it now.
Crazy, eh?
But let me share with you that a year ago this month, listening to my body, I realized that my appendix was not happy. And because I listened to my body, I got to the emergency room before my appendix burst.
Yikes.
Had the surgery, nip, tuck, done, easy peasy. But that was also me having great respect and knowing that I needed to get to the emergency room.
Well, and we do need to listen to our bodies. Our bodies are trying to tell us when they need help. And, bad things happen when you don't listen because they are trying to tell you, help me.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what I love about the work I do is because part of what I teach is how to listen to the body, really listen in ways that people just are astonished. They go, I didn't know that was possible. It's like, yes, it's possible.
Well, sadly, all good things come to an end. And here we are. 30 minutes just flew by. We could be here chatting for another 30 minutes. But unfortunately, time calls and everybody has obligations. So I want to thank you for being a wonderful guest on my show. And we'll definitely talk about this. And I hope that in fact people will reach out and start to get help for their bodies, because amazing products and things that can really start to change. Because what if aging wasn't inevitable?
It isn't. It is a disease.
Yeah. So, you may want to talk to us if you aren't really thrilled with the idea of aging, because maybe you don't have to.
I like it, Mary. I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with me and inviting me to share it with you. I really appreciate it. I know I'll see you soon, but thank you very much. And bye to everyone who happened to tune in today.